Well, hello there, and welcome back to Autocraft Season 4 with me, Tumbie92. We did it. We finally did it. Everything now starts to make a little bit more sense. All the farms that we've put together so far through this series have gone to contributing to this absolutely massive build. Let's take a look out on FreeCam and just see what this looks like. And well, it's massive, isn't it? It's absolutely massive. What do you all think of it? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of this build? And whilst you're there, remember to like and subscribe to the channel too. So what do we have? Well, I've been doing a little bit more work since the last time lapse, and I have done some finishing touches. We've got the swimming pool up here on the roof, and you might be able to see some bubbles. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Then up here, well, currently this is, well, it's empty, isn't it? I've put a map of the area out, and I think this is going to be cool if we can keep doing this as the world goes on, and we'll try and expand upon that and get some better maps and whatnot. Then up here we've got, well, I think I'm going to try and make this like my office, so all the collectibles as the season goes on, I want to put all into there. So we've obviously got a portal up there that we can do, but let me show you this. So try to keep everything real. You know, this world, this town is going to be based on real life things, and well, I just thought we need a bit of coverage over there. We have our storage room, decorated storage room now from a couple of episodes back that we put together, and a nice little clean interior. That's what we wanted. We wanted clean, we wanted it to look decent. I've put a redstone lamp signal here to just let me know in game when the system is up and running. And well, you can see from both sides that you know, we've got something hidden here. Let's go through, but I want to really start from the front. I want to make you guys understand the purpose of this build, because most importantly, it's live. So this bottom building here, this granite-esque building, is meant to be like a music venue. That is how I've kind of come to designing it too. So heading on inside, we might put like a ticket booth here. I need to figure something out. But we've got like our interior here. Here is going to be like a t-shirt merchandise salesperson, so we need to think of how we can put that together. But then we've got our bar, so we've got all our bars, like the draft beers, the lagers up there, the cocktails. Need to put some prices in place obviously, but we've got seating arrangement, some high chairs, and a bit of artwork. And then over here we've got our famous heads, and again we can expand upon this as the season goes on, but obviously I'm bang in the middle. And then over here we have a guitar, and I kind of took this inspiration from hard rock cafes. If you've ever been to a hard rock, you'll know what I mean, and they just have loads of famous instruments up in their display cases. And it's a nice little thing to do. We've got some signs up above both of these. We can add some context as the season goes on. These are the barrels that feed into the multi-item system, so we have to think about maybe if we can cover this any better. Bit of a blank wall here. It's a bit of a tricky space to use actually with the way the build is set up, but maybe we'll get some artwork up there. And then if we follow through this way, wow, we've got a little tunnel. Then head through some more, and then we have our live performance stage, and I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Back here we've got another little bar, because if you know, you go to a little music venue, of course there's a bar inside as well as in the hallway. And then over here, yeah, we've got our speaker systems. We're just using some banners over some black concrete, but a nice little setup. We then got our microphones, so we're using the lightning rods and candles on top. And then we've put together a little drum kit at the back here, which I thought was a nice little touch, just to try and add some flair to it. And you know, we never know, we may be able to hook up these levers to something underneath in the future and get something going on there. You'll see there's a door back here. This isn't hooked up yet, but I think what I'm going to do is consider putting in like a green room. So like, you know, if bands are here to play, we can put a little green room back here, but you know, here's the multi-item storage over there. And well, that's really it. That's a whistle-stop tour of this interior. And honestly guys, I don't really do interiors, but I really enjoyed putting this together. I had so much time and fun putting it together, just thinking of things that I've come across in real life. Now, for those that don't know, I am absolutely massive fan of live music. I enjoy guitar-based music, indie music. Arctic Monkeys are probably my favourite band. I've seen them 14, 15 times live. And I really just kind of took inspiration from music venues around the UK and took bits and pieces that I wanted to try and put into my world. And I think that's really helped bring out a bit of flavour into the build. And if we head through here, head up here, and we can head all the way back up to our roof, and what we'll do is we will come out into the swimming pool. There we go. So it's all connected up, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. There's still a lot of interior designing we can do, but that's going to happen as the season goes on and we get more things happening in the world. Now, you may have noticed really there's nothing changed out the front. It's still torch spam out here. So I think we could probably do with just getting some road structures out. You know, if we're going to build a town, it only makes sense for us to put some roads in place. So, and just like that, we have some of the road structure. Now, I have to admit, this is the boring part, so why don't we turn around? There we go. How beautiful does this look? I'm really impressed with what I've done. I have to admit, I completely winged this whole area. My road layout, that's all going to be the same across the board, although this is going to be one of our main roads. You can see it's super wide, and then we go around here. You know, it's a bit narrower, so thinking like this is like a dual carriageway. Again, kind of thinking into city planning. You know, you do have your dual carriageways, you have your double lanes, and then you have some like roads that are just single lane. And we've got another one, and ultimately these are going to be our main roads around the city. Maybe we need to, you know, put another opening of that here, so this is like a crossway. But yeah, we've really thought about how we can keep the whole area lit. And you may see we've got some carpets. I'm not a big fan of the carpets in the road, I have to admit, and I might need to come up with a way that I can hide some lighting in the road. I cannot, for the life of me, come together with a design for some sort of street light. Hence there being no street lights at the moment. Everything I've tried, I just haven't liked, and I don't know whether it's because of the backdrop of the build or just the colour scheme, but it just hasn't worked for me yet. So we have tried to come up with a few different ways of hiding light, and one of the ways that I've done it is actually with this cauldron. If we open this, we actually have lava, and surprisingly enough, if I flip on light levels, you can see it gives out a really good light source. So we were able to scatter some bins around, so like these can be like our bins, you know, you can actually throw some stuff in it, it's not just for display, and managed to keep it lit across the streets. To begin with, that's all I had. I had none of these trees, none of these bushes, and it kind of looked a bit bland. So we took some away down the front here and came up with some other alternative ways for us to get some lights in. And well, we've done that by double leafing this block here. So obviously we've got our dirt, our coarse dirt, but underneath this one we have our glow light, and we've got 2 leaf blocks above it. And yeah, it's just a nice little feature. And we've got 2 little custom trees. I like using these diorite walls, then going into the birch fences, especially with the granite in the background. It's a nice contrast to that. I was worried that, you know, dark oak certainly would just kind of blend in, so we needed something light, we needed something bright. And obviously with birch, there's a nice easy block to use for that thicker base of the tree. And again, what we've done is somewhere around here, yeah, we've double leafed and the glowstone again, just to make sure. There is the odd carpet around where things didn't fit, but for the best part, we've done our best to try and hide it. Another couple of trees. Every single one of these trees is different, which for once for me is quite unique, but I really enjoy stick trees. They're very easy to put together, and certainly with bushy leaves, they look beautiful. Like they look really well put together. We're using azalea leaves and we're using oak leaves just for some contrast, and obviously we're using those because, well, we've got spruce and birch kind of in the bottom bit here, the undergrowth. So You know, one of the key things I find when building in a modern style is trying to differentiate block purposes. It's very easy to use the same block over and over because whether it's easy to grind, it's easy to utilize, but it's really important to make sure each block has a purpose and that it doesn't just get put together. You know, we've got a different color concrete in the back here as opposed to this build because in theory the shops will have a different lighting behind it. You know, everything has a purpose, and will be trying my best to maintain that going forward. It's going to become more challenging as the more builds come up, but you know, we're using mud as opposed to red nether because these are like two different shop fronts. Whilst we haven't really put together a big design, it's just a way to separate two units within the build. And the server will restart in 5 minutes, so I better carry on talking and make it quick. Heading around the back, we've carried on the roads, and then we've got like an oak tree back here. We've got quite a wide array of leaves in that structure in there, and more bins, and again carrying on the road structure. And round here I haven't done a great deal, we've just got carpets. I kind of got bored of the bins. The bins are probably more going to be placeholders for when we've got builds up in here. We can figure out what we actually want to get in there, but obviously the main areas we have decorated. So we've got another little bushy area. Tried to do something with the shape because obviously we're on a bend, we're on the corner of the road, so I tried to do something different, you know, again keeping things unique, keeping things fresh. And again we've got the 2-tree layout with some bushes and undergrowth underneath. But again, talking back to the differentials, you know, we've got another kind of frontage here, kind of like a hotel reception maybe, although there's not a door, but you know, you can envision the hotel reception being there, and I think that's really important. I've got to try and maintain that, and that'll be, say, challenging as more we go in. I really love this sign. It's probably going to be my favorite piece to this build, especially from afar. If we fly out, you know, it just sets the unit off really nicely. And again, the more buildings we start to put around this area, there'll be more of a backdrop behind it, you know, builds this way, builds that way. It's just going to stand out. It's going to be a feature piece, and it's exactly what I was after. And yeah, I'm so happy with what we've done today. There's so many blocks placed. I think we're probably touching 300,000 with everything we've done. It doesn't really look a lot because it's just kind of a square patch, but you know, when you look up, yeah, there's, you know, blocks in every single level, you know, inside and out the concrete. So yeah, lots and lots of placement. Now I hope you've actually really enjoyed this because I've enjoyed putting it together. I've got so many exciting plans coming for this town, for this city, and I hope you'll stick around to see them all. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.